Afternoon, guys. It's Brett. Guys, haven't heard my voice in a minute. I know a lot of people don't keep up on my videos, but that's not the reason that I've been gone. The truthful only reason I've been gone is just if I'm not 100% on my shit, I'm not gonna come in front of this camera and try to provide information because I have respect for the information. I've said this once before. This shit has been lost, forgotten, disrespected, and it's up to us as the chosen ones. Fucking car. It's up to us as the chosen ones to bring this shit back on into these platforms or just out into the general knowledge. And nobody's out there doing this except very select few of us. But like I just said, I haven't 100% been on my shit. Has that meant that I just completely threw everything good that I was doing away? No, of course not. It just means that we all go through slip-ups in life. We all go through times where we doubt ourselves, etc., etc. And that's going to lead me to the topic of the video today, which I just received this information. I just received this this light code. But this also relates to my MMA journey, which I have a fight coming up soon, August 1st, guys. I'm going to keep you guys updated on that. When I go out and travel to this fight, I'm going to make a couple videos out there and post to this channel, relate that to the experience that I'm having out there. But how this relates to MMA is that there's going to be many monsters that you have to fight on your way to the top of the mountain. There's going to be many battles that are going to be have to be able to reach the top. And that includes your spiritual journey. It's not supposed to be easy. I think that was something along the lines of my last video. That's supposed to be hard. That's what's going to teach you what you need to be taught. That's what's going to make you the person that you need to be to handle what we're about to have to experience as the chosen ones. So, these monsters, these demons, etc., that you're going to have to fight to get to the top of this mountain, which in reality, there is no top. But this is just a form of expression, of course. But who are they? What are they? Well, they come in many shapes and forms. Demons can be from inside or outside of you. And for me, the ones that I faced most in my life were addictions. I've faced very, very, very bad cycles of addiction throughout my life, where I would be caught up in a cycle of doing something I knew I wasn't supposed to for an extended period of time, stop doing it, get on what I knew I needed to do, get back on it, and repeat. And I was caught in a vicious cycle for years on years. And the one time where I broke that cycle was when I did get arrested, and I spent a month and a half in jail, and I was forced to get off of all drugs, all substances, all things that were toxic into my life, away from a toxic relationship, etc. And that's another one. That's another one of those demons you can have, or monsters that you have to fight. But when I was in jail, what I seemed to notice, and when I look back at those experiences, what I realized is that was the most disciplined version of myself that I had ever been, which almost was a shock to me, because all that shows me now when I'm out here in this free world enjoying this nature is what I had in there is what I have right here. Take off these headphones and look at me shirtless out here in nature. And I mean, even in jail, I didn't have fresh air. That's another thing. I didn't have fresh air. I didn't have sunlight. I didn't see the sun for a month and a half. A whole month and a half, and I still had more motivation, more dedication, inspiration to do better for myself when I was completely locked up and away from all material possessions. Think about that. Really think about that. Some of the smartest people I'd ever met were actually in jail, which to this day, if I didn't meet some of these people, I wouldn't be able to make the right choices that I need to make today. A lot of people put me on game, man. A lot of people in this world have put me on game to a lot of different subjects. I'm forever grateful to every single person I've ever met in my life. You need to do the same, because like I've said in one of my earlier videos on the channel, is that if you look at your character traits, most of the time, every single last one of them originated from somewhere else. That's not to say that you don't, and this is what I didn't clear up in that video, that kind of came off weird to me. That's not to say that you don't have your own original character traits. Of course you do. That's not what I meant. I just meant that what you'll find, like Enoch the Freestyle Prince. I mean, when him and Spiritual Soul I don't really get into the beef shit, but he was saying that Spiritual Soul was stealing videos from him. And he was saying, he's like, as long as, he's like, if you gave me credit for the information, I completely get it. I'm not going to be mad or anything. But if you give me the credit where the credit's due, all would be good. And then that kind of made me realize that it's not just in that aspect. It comes for every aspect, to where you have to give props to all the different things in your life that have brought you to this point. That includes the things that seem shitty at the time. That includes the things that were amazing at the time. All of it. But back to the topic. So these hurdles that you're gonna have to jump through in life, you're gonna fall, man. Including me recently. I had to go through some hurdles. I don't have to get too far into depth in that, but I had to go through some hurdles, you know what I mean? I didn't get brought back down to hell necessarily, because I am the chosen one. I will not fail. You know what I mean? And the whole point of this video really, guys, is just to let you know that you're not supposed to be perfect. The spiritual journey is supposed to be a battle. This is a spiritual battle that we're going through right now. Especially in this time, I mean, I feel like it's a little different now than it's ever been, really. We've always been at spiritual war, but now more than ever. You got to have all your weapons ready, you know what I mean? There is no room for fucking up. There isn't room for fucking up. And some information that I feel that I've come across, whether it's through light codes, through my spirit guides and ancestors, is that, like I've said before, there's a time and place for everything. In my opinion, I think that includes alcohol. I think that includes marijuana. I think that includes psychedelic medicines. I think it includes all of these things. However, there's a catch. These products have been so fucked with our society. The only products that haven't really, I mean, even acid, look at LSD. It's very hard to come across real LSD on the black market. So that goes to show you right there, even something looked at on the highest level, such as psychedelic medicines, are being tampered with to this day. But with marijuana, alcohol, etc., all that, most of these products that you're going to find in this day and age are not in their complete natural state, not in the state that they were intended for you to consume. And another thing is how to consume. So with marijuana, for example, we're not really meant to smoke it. Our ancestors didn't smoke it very often. Maybe during certain ceremonies, I would have to do more research. But it was usually eaten, because that's how you got the full nutritional profile of it. And also, there weren't any extra chemicals, toxins, pesticides, etc., added into it. So for you as a person, me as a person, and one of the things that I did that I thought that I was fucking up in my life, which I kind of did, I just did it a little bit too soon, but I started smoking real weed, like from time to time, and using it more sparingly. I've been using it more often than I wish I had, but I did my research, and 100% it is real quality marijuana. I can also tell by the way that it feels, because I've smoked regular black market GMO weed. I've smoked dispensary weed that was horrible, and the shit that I got now seems to be, I could be wrong, of course, but it seems to be helping me connect in certain areas of my life. And that's where everything that we can do isn't necessarily a fuck up, just because we've been told by someone that's a fuck up. You have to make that decision for yourself. You know if what you're doing is right, and you know if what you're doing is wrong. When you're connected to the source, your body will give you all the answers that you need. You don't need to ask the question. You already have the answer within you. So if you smoke some weed and you really sit on that, you really meditate on that, and you ask your spirit guides, ask your ancestors, sending masters, ask yourself inside your own spirit, is this the real thing? Like, is this the real product? Or if you eat it like an edible and you feel it within your body and your soul feels it, is this the real thing? Is this the real product, or did I just consume something toxic? And I can ask that question. I can get the correct answer every single time. Alcohol, however, is a little different. I don't think the only way you can get real alcohol is if you make your own. I think that alcohol, all it is a substance to help break down your ego. And that's why a lot of people get belligerent and angry and violent on alcohol, because that's how these people really are inside of themselves. And then you also look at certain people. Some people, when they get drunk, they get happy, they get loopy, they get giggly. Why do you think is that? That's because who they are on the inside. You just broke down that egotistical wall that won't let you express certain emotions, certain feelings at certain times. So yeah, there's a time and place for all these things, 100%. However, does that mean that these substances, even in their pure form, are supposed to be consumed every day? Hell no, that's not how our ancestors use this shit. They use this shit to assist them. These are assisting factors. That's to say that, like, when I go to work out, every single time I work out, are you supposed to take a pre-workout? Fuck no. Because if I take a pre-workout every single time before I go work out, how the hell am I supposed to know if I'm gaining true progress? You see what I'm saying? Is it my body that I'm trusting in, or is it the pre-workout I'm trusting in? Same thing when it comes to weed for meditation, which that is what I try to use it for, or connecting to my spirit. Is if I used weed every time to go meditate, I used weed every time to connect to my spirit, would I ever really know if I was connecting to my spirit? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because I would associate smoking marijuana with talking to my spirit. See what I'm saying? So just understand. That's why I've been watching back these videos, and it's time to change that shit. We don't understand here. We don't understand. We understand here. But what you got to understand is that these hurdles you're going through, you're going to fall in holes, and you're going to have to pick yourself back up sometimes. That's what the whole point of this thing is about. Because without that, what are we really learning? Are we learning how to become better people, or are we learning how to just cope with these these things that we want? For example, if people who grow up the entire life sheltered and never get and always want to go do something bad. They always want to go do something bad. And then at the very end, when no one's watching, they go on just a killing spree. You know what I mean? They go get blackout drunk every night. They go smoke weed with their friends every night, party, go rob, etc., etc., etc. I can go on and on. I feel it's the same way when it comes to spiritual shit. Sometimes we have a lot of shit pent up inside of us from our past habits. And I know I do. That's a fact. And that's why I ended up breaking down and smoking weed again. But I had to take my time to find some shit that I could be comfortable with, that I knew that I was hoping the best, that wasn't tampered with. And I feel it's the same way. If we just hold this shit back and we never give in to any of these things ever, we can sometimes drive ourselves crazy. And you got to always ask yourself the root source of these questions you're having inside yourself. Like, why am I craving this thing so bad that I think is bad for me? And really, that's a big thing that I've realized, is that, like, I think this is bad for me. Your mind is the most powerful tool that you have. And I sit on almost two different sides of spirituality, honestly, because there's certain people in the conscious community that it's an undeniable fact that these, like, smoking marijuana is bad for you. Drinking, you should never put alcohol in your body. This and that. And then at the same time, there's certain people on the other side, like Delo the Pilot Man, and this is where I got this perspective from. And he was like, you can't, as a spirit, he says, as a spirit, you can't convince me that this is bad for me. You can't convince me this weed I'm smoking is GMO. You cannot convince me this alcohol is bad for me, because I know what I do with it. And see, I understand both perspectives, but this is where it ties in. I think it really truly depends on how tapped in you are, and at what side and, like, what stage of this spiritual shit you're at. You see what I'm saying? Like, if your vibration is really, really low, and you're giving into low vibrational items or products or drugs, I think that you're going to feel that vibration way more than you would feel it if your spirit was at a way higher vibration. I feel like your vibration would help you connect with the substance, like what its true meaning was for, and not connect to the bullshit that is sitting at that low vibration, if that makes any sense. Of course, that's just my opinion. These are just all the things I talk about like that. These are just things that I think of, you know what I mean? That I use critical thinking, like RFG always says. He says, time to use critical thinking. And I think that's where, like, I respect that man a lot, but at the same time, I kind of, like, I think his mind is just so set on a certain particular set of information and his goal, which is to wake people up, which is good as fuck. And I respect the fuck out of the guy. But at the same time, I feel like we kind of got to use critical thinking, just like he says, to look at everything from every aspect. But that's going to probably bring the video to an end, guys. You're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We're all going to be going through shit that's going to make us fall. but we're gonna dust ourselves back up and we're gonna keep going. But if you can limit what you do negatively in this life as much as possible, especially in this moment we're in right now, where our spiritual strength needs to be at the strongest, it's time to kick it into high gear, guys. It's really time to fucking get this shit popping. Because like, as you can tell, my energy is really high right now. And even though, like I said, I fell down a little bit. I did a few bad things. I did a few things that weren't 100% aligned with my path. But still, I'm right back here on this video right now, bringing a high energy. Because it's my spirit talking, you see what I'm saying? You can't bring my spirit down. But you guys have a great day. You guys go kill it, man. I believe in every single last one of you. If you stayed to the end of this video, fuck, I love you, man. You're a cool ass dude, cool ass girl. You should hit me up. Talk about ideas. We can connect. Soul group, man. We all gotta come together. We all gotta come together and fight, man. It's the end goal. See you guys on the other side. Have a great day. Bless.